Son of a... Hey there, in today's video, I'm going to be testing out whether changing out the water pad in a whole house humidifier actually makes a difference. So this is a bypass style humidifier. We keep it off during the warmer months, and then in the winter here in Michigan, it's very dry outside. So we then open up this damper here, and then as the humidifier activates, water is going to flow through the water pad that's inside this enclosure here. So we've got humidified air coming through here, going back down through the filter, gets reheated, and some of that is then being distributed to the house. So let's take a look at the filter that had been installed here for quite a while. Bypass and other evaporative humidifiers work by passing air over these water pads. And as that water evaporates, it leaves behind mineral deposits. So we want to see whether those deposits can actually restrict airflow and reduce the humidifier's performance. This will help us understand whether it's actually critical to change this filter pad periodically. So in this video, we're going to be performing 4 different tests to really figure out how much of a difference a clean water pad has compared to an older, dirty water pad. We're going to start by testing our dirty water pad and then replacing it and running through the same tests with our clean water pad. And for each of these tests, we'll have the humidifier turned on with the furnace fan running, but the heat turned off. The first test we're going to perform is measuring the velocity of air. This will allow us to see how fast air is able to move through the dirty water pad. We're going to go ahead and note this as 118 feet per minute. So now we're going to measure the resistance across the water pad, clean versus dirty, using a manometer. This is going to allow us to measure the static pressure upstream and downstream of the filter so that we can actually see how much restriction there is in airflow. For these measurements, I need a tap drilled on both the upstream and downstream side of our water pad. This allows me to plug the probes from my manometer in so I can measure both positive and negative pressures. And really, a manometer is one of the most powerful tools you can own if you're ever looking to check into the health of your furnace. With our probes plugged in, we can see we are fairly stable with a differential pressure of around 0.015 inches water column. And now this is a test that I don't know if we're going to have a good way to really quantify what it means other than get a comparison between our dirty pad and our clean pad. We're going to be checking the drain rate, or how much water is flowing through the pad. I'm just rerouting the drain tube from the bottom of the humidifier so that I can collect it in a measuring cup to see how long it takes to acquire 1 quart of water. And it's really one of those things where I'm not sure if I should be able to collect water at a faster rate with a clean pad or a dirty pad. But by the end of this, we'll find out if there is a difference. Just really quickly, in a prior video, I did quite a bit of testing on various types of furnace filters, which really shed some light on what works best with my system. I'll include a link to the video in the description below if you're interested in seeing those results. And in the meantime, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested in seeing more content around the house. With the dirty pad, it took 4 minutes and 45 seconds to collect 1 quart. This equates to about 3.1 gallons per hour. So one obvious test that we need to do is to actually measure humidity levels in the house. See if there's a difference before and after changing out that pad. For this test, I'm going to use a Bluetooth temperature and humidity monitor. I'm placing it next to a supply register, as this will give us the most direct readings coming out of the humidifier. Similar to our other tests, we're not going to run the heating, just allow the fan and the humidifier to run, and we're going to see how much humidity gain we achieve over a 1-hour period. After allowing 10 minutes to equilibrate, here is our baseline measurement, and now we're going to start the clock. After 1 hour, we have risen up to 47%, so an 8% increase overall. With our baseline test done, we're going to install our clean water pad. Changing out the water pad is pretty much as easy as changing out a furnace filter. And as I was taking this apart, I could just see all the deposits kind of falling off of the frame, and I could get a nice close look at the filter. This is the backside that was closest to the ductwork, and so this is going to be where a lot of those deposits are collecting. Really easy to see the crystalline structures that just form, and all of that has ability to restrict airflow and reduce the amount of water that's evaporated into the air. And while the water pads don't usually grow mold when they're working properly, letting them get heavily clogged probably isn't going to be great for air quality. After giving the frame a quick scrub down, I can go ahead and insert our fresh, clean water pad. For the record, this new pad is identical to the old one, same brand, it was part of a 2-pack. This will help ensure that we're maintaining an even playing field when it comes to testing. All right, new pad's installed. We're gonna put it through the same series of tests. After we're running through this series of tests for the clean pad, make sure you stick around so you can see the full comparison between the two. For the velocity test, we were rock steady at 137 feet per minute. Jumping over to our pressure test, we were fluctuating just a little bit between 0.014 and 0.013. We'll split the difference and call it 0.0135. Now let's take a quick peek at the test results of our dubious little drain test. We were at a rate of about 3.3 gallons per hour. And for the ultimate test, let's go ahead and check out the humidity rise over a 1 hour period. We had a starting point at 32%, and after an hour, ended at 43%, 11% increase. Now that we have collected all of our results, we can go ahead and compare them and see what does it all really mean. Let's start by comparing our velocity measurements between our dirty and clean pad. Velocity is a really good indicator of how well air is flowing through the pad. In general, the higher the velocity, the more evaporation and the more humidification you'll see. Based on the results we saw, we had a 16% increase in velocity with the clean pad. Now, let's go ahead and compare our pressure readings across the pads. The pressure is very closely related to the velocity, but while a higher velocity means more airflow, a higher differential pressure actually means more restriction and less airflow. So in our test, we saw the dirty pad had the higher pressure while the clean pad had the lower pressure by around 10%. That indicates that we have less restriction and more airflow across that clean pad. Now that we've seen how airflow improves with the clean pad, let's go ahead and see how it stacks up as far as drain rate. We saw about a 5% uptick in the amount of water going to drain when using the clean pad versus the dirty pad. And really, I feel like the results of this are pretty open to interpretation. I don't know if the argument could be made that maybe with the clean pad, we have better wicking and the water's gonna flow down the pad more evenly, whereas with the dirty pad, maybe that mineral buildup is causing water to hang up. And I did try to do a quick visual comparison, watching water flow down the dirty pad and the clean pad, and I really couldn't see a whole lot of difference. All that said, don't expect to see a water bill decrease by changing out the water pad. And now we can assess the details that everybody cares about. Is humidification in the house actually affected by the cleanliness of the water pad? And so with the humidification test, I really wasn't concerned about the actual humidity level in the house. I was really concerned to see that rate of change or the increase that we achieved over the 1 hour period. At surface level, the data may not indicate much difference between clean and dirty, especially if we're just using the starting and ending humidities. But if we dive into the full trends of the data from the tests, we see that the dirty pad had an initial rise of humidity that continued to steadily climb through the remainder of the 1 hour long period. On the flip side, the humidity with the clean pad rapidly ascended before plateauing about a half hour into the test. I suspect that the humidity likely reached the max set point of the humidifier, and from there, it just maintained as needed. Without even factoring in that the humidifier likely didn't run as long for the clean pad as it did with the dirty pad, we saw that the change in humidity was 38% higher with the clean than the dirty. Unsurprisingly, through our testing, we did confirm that a dirty pad can have an impact on the effectiveness of the humidifier. And while you may not notice a night and day difference, the data showed a pretty large increase in performance with the clean pad. So if you feel like it's dry in the house and the humidifier is constantly running, that water pad should definitely be one of the first things that you check out. Is it clogged? Is it restricting airflow? And is it reducing effectiveness of the humidifier? Really, routine swap out of the filter pad has ability to make the house feel more comfortable and also shave some runtime off the furnace fan, which could save a few dollars in the end. Hopefully you found this content useful, and if so, please consider hitting that subscribe button to see more tips, tricks, and tests around the house.